Hello, everybody. It's Mark and Ann with CareQuest Solutions. We are back for yet another episode of our podcast show. And how you doing, Ann?
I'm hanging in there. How are you?
Good, doing good. So
Good.
you're recovering from all the stuff and the hurricane and
Yeah, I'm back
all.
home. I'm at
Yeah,
home and going through that. I mean, been through that. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah, doing
We
okay.
have a very important topic and guest today. Who do we have with us?
We do. Today we have Alexis Williams.
Hmm.
Alexis is a program manager for Alzheimer's Association. And she covers Central Savannah River area, coastal Georgia, and the Middle Georgia area.
Mm, okay.
So, she holds a master's of public health, a
Hmm.
healthcare management degree from Augusta University. Um, she lost her grandmother to dementia
Mm,
in 2017. And that's when she dedicated time and help to support the mission. So she's experienced this and she's been
yes.
through that. And so she knows from a personal perspective what that's really like. So she has served in the role that she is currently in. She became a supporter and group facilitator. And then now she's been in this role since 2023, and she works with all the support groups, and
Mm.
she has become a program manager, and she has been involved with long-term care for the past 10 years. So let's welcome her to the show and let her
Let's
tell us a little bit more.
looking forward to it. So let's count
Yep.
this down and let's get it going. Alexis, welcome to the show. Oh, you're
Uh-oh.
muted.
Hello,
There, she- there
There
you are.
she is.
You
Hi, Alexis.
you had some hurricane issues too yourself, didn't you?
I did. So I live in Augusta, Georgia, and this is the first time that we've ever been hit. We've always been said we're in the valley, so we're good. Well, we weren't good this time. So we
Yeah,
have been navigating the changes and trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
yeah. She's
Yeah.
actually still out of internet, but thank goodness for technology. She's on her hotspot, so
Yay.
we are able to
Yes.
still pull this off.
Um,
And Alexis, thank you for joining Ann and myself on this. And like so many of us, were impacted personally in our lives, right, by things. And so with that happening to your grandmother and you having that happen to you, here you are. And we appreciate you coming
Right.
on and sharing your knowledge, your experiences. So with that said, why don't you kick it off and then tell us a little bit about yourself?
So again, as my was stated, my name is Alexis Williams. I'm the program manager for the Alzheimer's Association. So I have been in this role for a little while now, but in 2017, my grandmother passed due to dementia. She had
Mm,
Alzheimer's specifically, so
oh,
there are different forms of dementia,
yeah.
and her type
Yeah.
was Alzheimer's.
mm,
And during that process of her diagnosis, I found myself always trying to figure out what worked best. As a family member, you
Mhm.
know, I just wanted to make sure I was doing the best that I could as a granddaughter.
mm-hmm,
Even as my family, we would learn and try to look up different things, and we're like, okay, well,
Mhm.
we learned this works best. So we were always trying to be engaged to try to figure out what worked best for her. My master's degree is in public health, so part of that is healthcare management and looking at health disparities and trying to figure out like whole life and things of that nature. So again, I tried to relate that to her, and I just became involved. It became a passion of mine. And so after she passed, I wanted to give that to the community. I wanted to make sure I'm doing something to keep her name,
mm,
alive because she was that important to me. And so
mm.
I ended up volunteering with the Alzheimer's Association. So I became a support group facilitator. And in that role, I just served as the facilitator for those care partners. So I stayed in that
Mhm.
role for quite some time. COVID hit and everything
Mm.
changed. And so we couldn't really get that group back up and running.
Mhm.
So So then we decided to start an early stage support group. And so I've co-facilitated that with
Yeah.
someone. And for that group, it was for care partners and the person that's living with the disease. So both of them would
Okay.
come to the meetings and we would just offer that support. And so I served in that role until I became the program manager.
That is
Oh,
awesome.
wonderful. So I got to ask, what was your grandmama's name?
Pansy,
Oh, and
Mm.
what
Pansy
did you
Marie
call her?
Perry, grandma.
Oh,
Hmm.
you called her
Go.
grandma?
I called her grandma, nothing special, and I was Lexi Lou. That
Oh,
was my
and
Lexi
name.
Lou.
That's what she called me. Yes.
yeah, yeah. That's sweet. That's sweet. My mom nicknamed all of us, so I know we all had
Okay.
little nicknames.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was yours, Ann?
And still to this day, my brothers will call me that. So my name was Annie Rooney. And yeah,
Annie.
it's funny. Let me tell you, it's after, and we didn't figure this out till after my mom passed away. My brother called me one day and said, "Turn on channel so and so." We both had direct TV. And there was a black and white movie, Shirley Temple movie named Annie Rooney. And we said, "Oh my gosh, that's got to be where she got it from." So I have, of all our grandchildren, all the boys, call me Gran. And I have this one little girl, because my children give me a hard time and call me Rooney, she calls me Roo. Yeah. She's the only little girl, but she calls me Roo because she didn't get Rooney out. So anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
there's my claim to fame. But anyway, Alexis, I think that is a wonderful way to have gotten into dealing with the Alzheimer's Association, because Mark is going through some with his mom right now and
Mhm.
experiencing some of that. And people don't know until they've really been through it, what it can be like. And you trying to find different ways to work with and talk with your grandmama and what to do and what worked best, you and your family. I think that's wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned the support groups. If you would tell everybody really what it is that the Alzheimer's Association offers, because there's just so much.
Okay, like you said, we offer quite a bit of things. So,
Yeah.
in my role as program manager, my job is to offer care support and services. So, with that, that means providing education. So, we have several educational presentations that we can give on understanding what Alzheimer's and dementia is. What are the
Mhm.
10 warning signs? Healthy living for your brain and body. Um,
Mm.
Managing money, so a caregiver's guide to finances, communication, behavior. So we have a plethora of information and education that we could provide for anyone. So those that are living with the disease, those that are taking care of those that are living with the disease, and it's also important to provide this information for those that may not be affected right now, because the
Mm.
key to having the best quality of life with dementia is early detection. So that's why we're out here. We're trying to raise money through our different fundraisers. We're out here trying to provide these presentations to make sure everyone knows what dementia is and how it
Mm.
could affect someone. And then also for them to know to be flexible. And one of the ways we do that is we offer support groups. We have several different support groups that's located in the central Georgia area. And this support group, we have some that meets during the daytime, like early afternoon. Then we have some that meets in the evening. And the goal is
Oh,
that we have a time to meet someone, for everyone to be able to feel that it
mhm.
can come. They meet once a month and it's the same time.
Mm.
So if it's the first Thursday, it's going to
Okay.
always be the first Thursday of that month. If it's at two
Yeah.
o'clock, it's going to always be at 2 o'clock. So then that way they can also, we allow caregivers the opportunity to be able to prepare. They know the
Mhm.
first Thursday of the month, I have this
Mhm.
support group. And I said, we have several. So they want to go to that one, or they want to go to two of them, they want to go to all of them. It is open to them. We offer this support
Okay.
free of charge, it's volunteer based, and they go and they're able to shut off for a minute. They're
Mm.
not completely in
Yeah.
that care partner role. Right now,
Mhm.
they're taking care of themselves, because at the end of the day, we can't take care of our loved one if we don't take care of ourselves. So, coming to
Yeah.
the support group, like I said, we're around people that's like us. We're talking to people that's journeying through this the same way as we are, or they may be further along, so they can give insight of some things of what to expect. Or you can do the same thing. You can offer some advice to someone that may be going through it as
Mhm.
well. So
Mhm.
again, I really, really encourage people to come into those support groups, because it's just very, very beneficial.
Yeah.
We also
And is
have like
that
a trial match program, so it can link
Mhm.
people to.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's fine.
There's
I
a
was like,
delay. Yeah,
are
there's a
they
delay.
yeah, it's a delay
Okay.
in that. Are they posted? Are those times and all posted on your website? Is that where they go to find that information for the support groups?
Yes, and
Oh,
it's correct. Absolutely. Uh-oh.
okay. Great, great.
Alexis, have you
And so
seen a
we have
lot
a
of
helpline
growth?
number. So you can always call our helpline number.
Okay.
Man, there's a bad delay.
Yes. They are. We kicked off months ago. Uh-oh. Is it breaking up?
Now
There
keep
you are.
going.
You're back.
We kicked off a
It's
group in
got a delay
Milledgeville.
a little bit.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's
Um,
okay.
okay. We kicked off a support group in Milledgeville
Okay.
about 2 months ago. We're super excited about that.
Great, great.
Let's
Okay.
pretend like we're on a news channel. You know how the person's in the field and they're doing this, and they'll ask a question and they have to wait about 10 seconds and then they'll answer them. So we'll pretend like we're on a live delay here. But I know what I was asking, as far as how old was your grandmother when she was first diagnosed, and how long did she live before she passed?
She was, I believe, 78.
Mm.
Oh gosh, young.
I want to say she lived for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And that's
So what,
about what you see. That's about right. Yeah.
yeah. And what was it like for you from the beginning to the end and the things?
Mhm.
Did you know anything about it, or did you just learn as you were facing it?
I learned as I was facing it for the most part. So prior to her
Mhm.
becoming diagnosed, or I was coming out of, like, I was in college when this happened. And so I,
Okay.
of course, saw the signs then, but I wasn't really in my career yet or anything like that. However, my career has been long term care. So I was able to apply some of the things I learned at work with her as well. But it was a
Mhm.
constant learning thing because before that, I was not in college. I mean, I was in college, so not in an actual career job. I
Mhm.
was working at a daycare, so really didn't see it then. But dealing
Mhm.
with her and navigating through that is when I learned
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
most.
And
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that, because that's sort of like, with us being in the space of helping families with, being placed into assisted living or memory care, and the experiences I'm having with my mom, I'm seeing the huge need for awareness and training, to where anybody that is in the profession and they are caretaking for someone, they need to have some training. And a perfect example is knowing how to handle the relationship with someone that's going through it. Like last night, dad calls and said mom wanted
Mhm.
to speak to me. Well, when she handed her the phone, it was that 3 minutes of, who's this? It's Mark. And she was confused. And then she starts crying and she's going, I don't know where I'm going to sleep. Where am I going to sleep?
Mhm.
And so, example, the things I'm learning, I said, Mom, we'll find you a place to sleep. It's all going to be okay. So you just relax while I help you find somewhere. And she goes, oh, okay. It just sort of just go along with them. And it's little tips like that, to where I'm looking forward
Mhm.
to, as a company, becoming, all of us being certified and trained, and to be able, like you're saying, the Alzheimer's support groups, to be able to go and provide some free resources to those caregivers when they're there to take a break, is give them access to the training, to the knowledge, to the small little things that makes a huge difference, because it's not easy to experience. Just like we've all, have been through it with our loved ones. Ann went through it with her mom. You went through it with your grandmother, and you see good Lord, tons of people that through your organization that
Yeah.
experience it. So anyway, it's definitely something to get awareness on. Let's get into some of the facts, and I'll share here this facts and figures sheet that you sent us over. So if you don't mind,
Oh, great.
let's just
Yeah.
talk about this a little bit.
So these are the current facts. It came out in about March of this year. So this is, as the most recent facts, and it just shows how prevalent Alzheimer's is. So we
Hmm.
always hear a lot of time about breast cancer. We also hear
Hmm.
sometimes about
Mhm.
prostate cancer. Well, Alzheimer's are these are the facts for Alzheimer's disease, and it kills more than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined. And so
Wow.
just think about how many people that have an impact on. It's
Mm,
it's a lot. And then we think
Mhm.
about, Alzheimer's dementia is one of the most costliest um issues or diagnoses that we can have. And you can see that over
Yeah.
11 million people are providing unpaid care to their loved one.
mm,
And
Yeah.
that's because, of course, with dementia, it's going to progress. It's going to continue, and the needs are going to become more and more. So in the earlier stages, you may have where they just need help with what goes
Mhm.
on doing everything.
yeah.
From they may forget even how to swallow or those last stages. And
Yeah.
so again, you're providing care. So it's a costly disease that you can have.
Well, it is. And it's a progressive disease. And that's what I think people forget sometimes is that you get that original diagnosis of dementia. And if they determine that it's Alzheimer's, then okay, so now we know what we have. And it really doesn't matter. It does matter and it doesn't matter. But dementia is bad. It doesn't matter if it goes into Alzheimer's disease or if you've just got a diagnosis of dementia. Alzheimer's does progress a little bit differently, but people have to remember that it is a progressive disease. So what you're seeing right now, with mom, dad, whoever, forgetting and going through some of those kind of things, you're absolutely right. I mean, having retired out of nursing home, we saw it constantly with when they do forget to eat. They reach a point where they don't even remember that they need to go eat. And then when you sit them down, they may not remember how.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of things that happen with that. And I don't think people stop to realize that it is a progressive disease because we've had families over the years ask us, things like, well, why are we going through this? What's mom doing now? And there is no, and I'm sure I think Alexis, you probably saw this, and Mark, you've seen it probably with your mom, that there is no cookie cutter. This is how
Mm,
it's
No,
going to progress.
yeah.
exactly. And
Well,
Everybody's
it
I'm,
different.
affects
yeah.
everyone differently.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This figure here, this right here, 18 billion hours, that from
Hmm.
caregivers, that wow, what a burden on so many families, right? And that, now I'm gonna make a little
Right.
lighthearted little observation here. The lifetime risk for Alzheimer's is 1 in 5 for women and 1 in 10 for men. It's higher for women because they have to deal with men. That's what my wife would say, right? She she
And she would be right. Yes, Donna, that is correct.
she
I
always
make a
says I
joke
had
too and to say that. I say, we happen to handle it all, yeah.
Right.
So we're juggling
Everything
so
bad
many
for
moving pieces.
women starts with men.
Yep,
Everything.
she
Think about
always
it.
says she always says I have man eyes and man ears. I don't hear half of what she says, and when I could be in the refrigerator looking for something, and she'll go, "It's right there, man eyes."
Yeah.
I'm like, so
I know it's a
Yeah.
lot to keep y'all on track, and because of that, we feel it, and that's why we're
Right.
diagnosed.
Right.
and hey, it's back to what you guys were saying earlier about having nicknames. I was the baby of the family with 3 older sisters, so I had like 4 moms. And what my name was, what my dad called me, I thought I was in a Tarzan movie. My name was Boy.
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 Well,
So
hey, it could have been worse.
it wasn't Mark, it was Boy. So I'm like, I guess being the baby and having 3 older sisters, that was all he could think of was I
Well, and
got a
that
boy, and he
yeah,
had to
that's
remind
funny
himself.
because, I'm the baby and had 4 older brothers, and I have laughed and said over the years that all I ever heard was, "Well, the boys this and the
Mhm.
boys that," and you're not one of the boys, so I couldn't do stuff. So, yeah, I don't even wanna hear it, Mark. Runs on
Let
both
me let me ask you this here. When it's talking about 3 and 5
sides.
dementia caregivers say less stress and more peace of mind are potential benefits of having a care navigator. What's a little bit about a care navigator? What would that be?
That means so we have memory assessment clinics, we have, dementia care specialists. what that means is you're having someone in your corner that can help you navigate through that process. So that's your
Yeah.
sounding board that kind of talk you through, okay, making sure you have advanced directives in place, or making
Mm,
sure you know what their needs are. Because one of the things that you can see on the signs of someone that's dealing with dementia is they could go on with behavioral problems, could have hallucinations, delusions, and they can
mm,
start
Mhm.
hiding things. And so what they're doing is they're
Mhm.
trying to keep it safe. They don't want somebody else to get a hold of it because they think if somebody may steal it. But when they hide it, they're hiding it from themselves because they don't remember where they put it,
I don't
and you
remember.
too.
Yeah.
So having
Mm.
someone, a navigator, to help you put these things in place, you can have every information that you need in a locked area where only you know where it's at, or you can have access
Mhm.
to it, or it can connect you with their different resources that are out there to help you navigate it. So okay, now I need a caregiver to come in a few days a week. I need somebody to help me prepare meals, or I may need to find somebody to help me place mom or dad or sister into a community environment.
Yeah.
You can have someone
Yeah.
there to help you go through that because it's hard doing it alone. And one of the things that
Mm,
we don't talk about a lot of times is you may have, say this is a parent, and you may have plenty more than one sibling, but sometimes it
Mhm.
falls on just that one person.
yeah.
And
Yep.
so
Yeah.
having someone to help carry that burden is so much easier because you it's hard doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I want to pull this up that you sent as well. Some of the stats here, if you don't mind, just give a quick little overview of here. And I noticed here on under the uh, workforce that was 2021 stats on geriatrics. So just kind of give a quick little summary of this sheet
That's
here.
interesting.
So these are the facts strictly for here in Georgia, and so it kind of helps you reel it in to a little bit of a more personal note. So we see that a 12% of adults that are over 65 have Alzheimer's, and so this is strictly Alzheimer's. Now,
Okay. All
dementia
right.
has
Oh
many
wow. Jeez. Okay.
different types, right? And so, yes, I want
Mhm.
to make sure you realize this. So, this isn't, dementia as a whole,
Right.
or this
Yeah.
doesn't include mixed dementia or frontal temporal. This is Alzheimer's. And so,
Jeez.
12% of people that are age 65 or older is dealing with Alzheimer's.
Mm.
There are several other highly common ones. So, right below Alzheimer's is typically Huntington, which is
Uh-huh.
the
Okay.
form frontal temporal, or Lewy body. Those are some other very, very common
Mm,
ones. But this specifically is so it goes to show how many people are
Yeah.
affected.
yeah.
Yeah.
People that are taking care of someone for Alzheimer's, this is the second highest average number of hours per caregiver. So, and then this also leads to caregivers that are having, then because they're taking so care of their loved one, their health declines.
Mm.
So
Right.
Big
15.1%
time.
people, caregivers,
Yes.
their hair, yeah, they
Yeah.
may
Yeah.
become depressed. 33%. We have
Mhm.
64% that may develop some other type of chronic health condition taking care of someone with Alzheimer's.
Jeez,
I'm not surprised at that. I'm
this
not
is a
surprised at
monster of
that.
a situation. It really is.
It
It's
is. It is. It
it's
is.
because things that what I want to make note of. Obviously, this is you know it's so obvious, but I think it needs to be stated. The caregivers still have their own lives going on, raising kids, marriages, jobs, careers,
Exactly.
stresses, issues, and it's just overwhelming, to
Yes,
where the mental health needs are humongous. Needing someone
absolutely.
there just to vent
Mhm.
to or talk to or whatever, because life is life, and it'll
Hmm.
it'll beat you down. So I think one of the things we'll lead over here is how can someone support the cause, right? So let's get into the walk information and how
Okay,
many walks there are all over the place, right?
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
So yes, so we have walks in every area, and so in Georgia, upcoming for the central area is on October 19th. So that's this upcoming Saturday that we have
Yes.
a walk, and the purpose is to walk to end Alzheimer's. So what you'll see our different color flowers, and then there will be one white flower, and so that means it goes towards the first survivor. And so
Okay.
And it's to because one day there will be a world without Alzheimer's. We believe that. We know that.
Mm.
So with this walk to end Alzheimer's, we join us and help us lead the way to help get to that first survivor. And what we do is we raise
Mhm.
money. And this fundraising dollars that goes towards helping with the awareness of community, helping with trial match, helping with advocacy to get legislators to sign off on different, bills that will be beneficial to
Mhm.
everyone. Our walk to end Alzheimer's is held in more than 600 communities nationwide. So
Wow.
Wow.
there's a
So
walk
how does it work?
somewhere near you.
Do people sponsor the walkers? Do they get so much a mile they walk? Just explain how it works so people can know how the funds are raised.
No, so what it is you have a team and you can become a sponsor, but what a lot of times we just encourage people to get a team, and so you'll have a team, you'll sign up, and people can register to walk, and then they raise their own money. It's on your own term. What we have some people they have fundraisers that what they'll do.
Mhm.
All of that money goes towards the wall. Some people just donate the money, but again, and then everyone walk. It's just and it's a time for you to take time for yourself.
Right.
It's a time for you to walk because those that are taking care of them will have a success story or a inspirational story, I shall say, where someone may come and speak and
Mhm.
tell their journey or their story. There are activities
Yeah.
Alexis,
that's always
yeah,
out there.
I think the
Event, so
hot spot
everyone could
is
come out. You could bring your dogs.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
I,
think the hot spot is cooling off. It looked like
Uh
it looked
oh.
like a you'd appreciate this. We had some dramatic effects there. You were in slow motion. You were like it was this dramatic slow motion, like you were
but it's
presenting,
okay.
but
It's all
it's
right.
not
We still got
Oh
the
no.
information.
it's
Still
not
got
your
the
fault.
information. And
It-
listen, Mark, just speaking to that a little bit because I know
I
um
probably should have
having been
tried
in
it on my
nursing home.
phone.
that's right. It's not your fault. It's
Okay.
just technical
We
stuff.
even in nursing home they used to form teams a lot. They would form teams and that kind of thing. I know here in Warner Robins, John that does it here will do a John Rowland runs a team here and supports it here, and he will have a I think it's every April that John does one, but he does a 5K. And so people, when you're talking about how do you do it, well, people will pay to be in the 5K. Now, some people run, some people walk. They have different age groups, all that stuff. And all the money that he raises, he turns in and it goes into the Alzheimer's Association. So, it's different in different areas, but we have done in the past, we've done as our team bake sales and yard sales and anything you could think of. We've done a small like 5K type thing and things like that to promote and get people. And then whoever pays to come into that golf tournaments, those are huge and big to do. But we've done things like that in the past. And then the money that the team raised goes into the Alzheimer's Association. And as a team, and Alexis, I don't remember all the details of it, but I know that as a team, once you've got so many members and that kind of thing, you're working toward it, but you get t-shirts and those kind of things that just as a thank you kind of, for putting a team together and doing that just as advertisement and that kind of thing. Cause
Yeah,
this is
Kim,
so important. It's just such a huge,
uh,
um,
Kim, just
health issue.
we're at this Saturday, Kim. If you remind me of that. Got so while Kim's going to post that information on, I think there's a walk this Saturday in this area. Is there anything you would like to add before we go?
Nope, I don't. Well, I guess I take that back. So I'll just say thank you all for allowing us to join. If we could do anything or offer any support, please feel free to reach out. Our helpline is 24/7. You can give them a call at 1-800-272-3900. Licensed master level clinicians are there answering the calls. And then they can also connect you with the program manager that's assigned to your area to ensure that you get anything that you may need. But if we could ever be of a resource, provide any education to you all, we would love to do so. Just feel free to reach out and we'll make sure we'll make that happen.
Very good.
Great.
And
Great.
Kim said
Thank you.
there is a walk in West Georgia. But if anybody wants any information or wants us to connect you with Alexis or anything, here's Ann and my email. We appreciate everybody supporting. And Alexis, thank you for supporting the podcast here at CareQuest. What we do specialize in is, of course, connecting families to all the resources they need when navigating the difficult challenges of caretaking. At the end of the day, if we can help place someone in an independent assisted living or memory care, or help find that in-home care or health company, that's what we do. The podcast is just a way for us to give to the community and put resources out there, because it is a very challenging time in people's lives, as we all know. So I want to thank everybody for watching the show. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. And just share the information. You never know who may need it. So Alexis,
thank you.
Thank you
Thank
again.
you so much.
Until next time, we will see everybody on the next show.
All right. Thanks a lot.